Good morning! Today, I want to share something simple, yet powerful. Something that, if you commit to it every single day, can completely transform your life. The title is simple. Watch this every day and change your life. Life is not something that happens to you. It's something you shape moment by moment. Every day you make choices. Some are conscious, some are unconscious. And those choices, no matter how small, determine the quality of your life, your happiness, and your success. What you feed your mind, what you focus on, and how you respond to challenges, all of that adds up over time. Imagine your mind is a garden. If you plant weeds, you get weeds. If you plant seeds of knowledge, discipline, and positivity, you grow a garden full of beauty, fruit, and abundance. Watching something motivational each day is like watering that garden. Each day you invest in yourself, even for just a few minutes. You strengthen your mind, sharpen your focus, and build habits that last. Success, happiness, and freedom are not distant destinations. They are the result of what you do consistently. Small actions, repeated day after day, create extraordinary results. Reading, listening, watching, learning, and reflecting. All these daily habits compound over time. They turn ordinary people into extraordinary ones. But here's the key: knowledge alone is not enough. You must take action. You must apply what you learn. Every day is an opportunity to be better, to improve, and to take one more step toward the life you've always dreamed of. Don't wait for motivation to come, create it. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now, so make it a ritual. Watch, listen, absorb, and apply. Commit to daily growth. Surround yourself with ideas that challenge you, inspire you, and push you to become your best self. This small, consistent investment in your mind and character will pay dividends you can't even imagine. Remember, life is shaped by your philosophy, your habits, and your actions. Invest in yourself every day. Water your garden, sow your seeds, and watch the incredible transformation happen. The change starts with you, and it starts today. Every day, each of us faces hundreds of choices. Some are small, almost invisible. The decision to get out of bed on time, to make your own breakfast instead of grabbing something quick, to smile at a stranger. Others are bigger, deciding which career path to pursue, how to manage money, or how to respond to challenges in relationships. What most people fail to realize is that it is these daily choices, the ones that seem trivial at the moment, that quietly shape the course of your entire life. Life is the sum total of your decisions. Not your dreams, not your hopes, not your wishes, but your decisions. Think about it. If you consistently choose to invest in yourself, to read, to learn, to improve, to build relationships with people who lift you higher, then over time, those choices compound. They create momentum. A person who reads 15 minutes every day may not notice the impact immediately, but over a year, they have consumed dozens of books, gained insights, and developed a sharper mind. That seemingly small decision, just 15 minutes of focused attention, can lead to opportunities, growth, and success that someone who ignores that habit may never see. On the other hand, if you consistently choose distractions, procrastination, and comfort over growth, the compounding effect works against you. Over time, your skills stagnate, your relationships weaken, and your potential shrinks. Every choice is a statement of your priorities. If you choose to complain rather than solve a problem, you reinforce a mindset of victimhood. If you choose excuses rather than action, you delay your progress. Every time you choose integrity over convenience or courage over fear, you shape your character. Life does not reward intention alone. It rewards consistent action rooted in wise choices. The power of choice is both a privilege and a responsibility. The remarkable thing is that no one can take your choices from you. Wealth, success, and happiness are built one choice at a time, often invisible to the outside world until they reveal themselves in outcomes. Sometimes, people wait for a big break to change their lives. assuming that a single event will define their future. But life is rarely transformed by one grand event. It is the steady accumulation of good choices, day after day, month after month, that creates extraordinary results. A person who consistently chooses to exercise, eat healthily, manage finances wisely, and invest in relationships is quietly building a life of health, abundance, and meaningful connections. The same applies to habits of the mind. Choosing to study, reflect, and challenge yourself mentally creates intelligence and wisdom that cannot be purchased or borrowed. Choices also influence how you handle setbacks. When difficulties arise, you can choose despair or determination. You can choose to blame others or take responsibility. You can choose temporary comfort or long-term growth. Those decisions, repeated in moments of trial, define not only your success, but also your resilience and character. People often underestimate the power of these small decisions in the face of adversity, but they are precisely what separates those who ultimately thrive from those who falter. Remember that choices are contagious. The people you spend time with, the environments you inhabit, the media you consume, all these are choices you make, often unconsciously. If you choose to surround yourself with motivated, disciplined, and positive individuals, their influence will lift you. If you choose negativity, laziness, and cynicism, your progress will be stunted. Life is a reflection of the consistent decisions you make about what you allow into your mind, heart, and daily routines. The beauty of this principle is that it applies to everyone, regardless of circumstances. You may not control every situation that comes your way, but you always control how you respond, and that response, repeated consistently, shapes your destiny. Each day is an opportunity to make choices that move you closer to the life you want, or choices that leave you stuck where you are. The path is simple, but not always easy. Choose wisely, act consistently, and embrace the compounding power of small, intentional decisions. Ultimately, the quality of your life is the sum of your daily choices. What you do consistently matters far more than what you do occasionally. A single choice may seem insignificant, but when repeated day after day, it builds a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. The power is in your hands, and the time to exercise it is now. Every choice you make today is an investment in your future self, and that future is built one deliberate choice at a time. Your mind is the most valuable asset you will ever own, yet it is often the most neglected. People spend countless hours earning money, improving their bodies, and acquiring material possessions, but they often overlook the one investment that guarantees the highest returns: investing in their own mind. The truth is, your thoughts shape your actions shape your habits shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. Every success begins with a single idea, and every idea flourishes only when you nourish your mind. Investing in your mind is not just about reading books or attending seminars. It's about creating a continuous habit of growth and learning. It's about feeding yourself with ideas that challenge you, inspire you, and push you to think beyond your current limits. Just as a farmer waters his crops to produce a bountiful harvest, you must feed your mind with knowledge, wisdom, and insight if you want to reap the rewards of personal and professional growth. The more you invest in your mind, the more opportunities you create for yourself. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the smartest by IQ, but they are the ones who have committed to lifelong learning. They understand that the world is constantly changing, and the person who stops learning falls behind. Every book you read, every lecture you attend, every conversation you engage in has the potential to expand your perspective, sharpen your judgment, and strengthen your decision-making. Knowledge is cumulative. It grows with consistent attention and care. Just 15 minutes a day of focused learning can transform your life over the course of a year. Investing in your mind also means taking control of the thoughts you allow to dominate your mental space. Negativity, fear, and doubt are like toxins that stunt growth and drain energy. You must choose carefully what you allow to enter your mind. Surround yourself with positive influences, uplifting ideas, and people who encourage growth. Listen to content that challenges you to think bigger, read books that expand your understanding, and engage in activities that stretch your intellect. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life, and that quality is under your control. Reflection is another vital part of investing in your mind. Learning is not just about consuming information, it's about understanding, processing, and applying it. Take time to think deeply about what you learn, to connect new ideas to your existing knowledge, and to translate insights into action. When you reflect on your experiences and integrate lessons into your daily life, your mind grows stronger, more adaptable, and more capable of solving complex problems. Investing in your mind also creates resilience. Life will challenge you, test you, and sometimes disappoint you. But a well-nourished mind can face adversity with clarity, creativity, and composure. Knowledge gives you the tools to navigate uncertainty. Confidence gives you the courage to take action, and wisdom gives you the perspective to stay focused on long-term goals. Your mind becomes a fortress, a source of power, and a guide through life's inevitable ups and downs. The returns from investing in your mind are limitless. Unlike money spent on material things, which depreciates, what you invest in your mind appreciates with time. Every idea you acquire, every skill you master, and every perspective you gain compounds, building a foundation for a richer, more meaningful life. It creates opportunities you might never have imagined and opens doors that would have remained closed. The more you grow your mind, the more you grow your potential to achieve, create, and contribute. Ultimately, investing in your mind is a daily commitment. It is a promise you make to yourself to become better than you were yesterday, to grow beyond your current limitations, and to embrace a life of continual improvement. Whether it is reading, studying, listening, reflecting, or engaging in meaningful conversations, each small investment adds up over time. The mind is your most powerful tool, and how you nurture it determines the trajectory of your life. Every day you feed it with wisdom and insight, you are building a life of opportunity, resilience, and fulfillment. The best investment you will ever make is the one you make in yourself, and the returns are limitless. Consistency is the secret ingredient behind every meaningful achievement. Talent, intelligence, and even luck can only take you so far, but it is consistency, doing the right things day after day, that produces lasting results. Think about a river cutting through rock. It is not force or sudden power that shapes the canyon. It is the steady, unrelenting flow of water over time. In the same way, small, repeated actions, when performed consistently, create extraordinary outcomes in every area of life. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because they are often looking for quick results. They want instant success, immediate recognition, or overnight transformation, but life doesn't work that way. Wealth, health, personal growth, and meaningful relationships are all built through small, intentional actions repeated over time. A single workout, a single sales call, or a single act of kindness may seem insignificant, but when repeated day after day, week after week, it compounds into results that are nothing short of remarkable. Consistency creates momentum. When you show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, you build a rhythm, a pattern of action that becomes almost automatic. Habits are born from repetition, and habits shape character. The person who consistently invests time in learning develops knowledge. The person who consistently invests time in health develops strength and vitality. The person who consistently invests in relationships develops trust and connection. Over time, these compounded effects create a life of accomplishment and fulfillment that looks effortless from the outside. but only because of the steady, persistent work behind it. One of the most overlooked aspects of consistency is its impact on your mindset. When you commit to showing up every day, you develop discipline, resilience, and confidence. You learn to trust yourself because you know that you will follow through, no matter the circumstances. Challenges no longer intimidate you because you have built a foundation of reliable action. Even when motivation wanes, consistency carries you forward. Motivation is temporary, but consistent action is permanent. Consistency also earns respect, credibility, and opportunities. People notice those who are reliable, who keep their promises, and who show up when it matters. In business, in relationships, in leadership, those who are consistent are trusted, followed, and remembered. In contrast, inconsistency breeds doubt, frustration, and missed opportunities. Life rewards those who commit to the long game, who understand that excellence is not an event, but a habit. It's important to understand that consistency does not mean perfection. You will have days when you falter, when distractions creep in, or when circumstances make it difficult to stay on track. True consistency is not about never failing. It is about returning to the path immediately, refusing to let temporary setbacks derail your progress. Each time you recommit after a stumble, you strengthen your discipline and reinforce the patterns that lead to success. Consistency is particularly powerful because of its compounding effect. Small efforts, repeated regularly, grow into something much larger than the sum of their parts. Saving a small amount of money each week leads to wealth over time. Reading a few pages each day leads to knowledge, insight, and wisdom. Practicing a skill consistently turns mediocrity into mastery. The results may not be visible immediately, but over months and years, they become undeniable. This is why people who understand the power of consistency outperform those who rely solely on bursts of energy, talent, or inspiration. Ultimately, consistency is about commitment to yourself and your goals. It is about showing up, taking action, and doing the right things, even when it is inconvenient or difficult. Life does not reward occasional effort. It rewards steady, purposeful action. The small choices you make every day, repeated consistently, define the trajectory of your life. By embracing consistency, you build not just results but character, resilience, and a foundation for long-term success. Consistency is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It transforms potential into reality and dreams into tangible outcomes. Those who understand this principle live lives of achievement, confidence, and fulfillment because they have mastered the art of showing up every day without fail. The key is not in doing something spectacular once in a while, but in doing the simple, right things repeatedly until they become second nature, and until the results you desire inevitably follow. Knowledge alone is not power. Many people assume that acquiring information is enough to change their lives, but the truth is that knowledge only becomes power when it is applied. You can read countless books, attend seminars, and consume endless podcasts, but if you fail to act on what you learn, nothing will change. The difference between success and failure is not what you know, it's what you do with what you know. Knowledge is only the starting point. Action is where transformation happens. The problem is that too many people fall into the trap of thinking that knowledge itself will automatically produce results. They collect facts, strategies, and advice, but stop there. They admire the ideas, discuss them, and even plan to implement them, but they never take the necessary steps. Knowledge without action is like having a car without fuel. It looks impressive, but it will never take you anywhere. To truly benefit from knowledge, you must commit to doing something with it immediately, consistently, and deliberately. Action turns potential into results. Every successful person you admire, whether in business, sports, or personal development, did not achieve greatness merely by knowing what to do. They achieved greatness by doing it. They applied the principles they learned, sometimes imperfectly, sometimes with mistakes, but always with persistence. Knowledge creates the roadmap, and action is the vehicle that takes you to your destination. Without action, the roadmap is useless. The beauty of action is that it also creates feedback. When you act, you learn. You discover what works and what doesn't. You refine your approach and build experience. Knowledge in a vacuum may give you confidence on paper, but only action gives you real-world wisdom. Mistakes become lessons, and lessons become stepping stones to mastery. The more you act, the faster you grow, the sharper your judgment becomes, and the more capable you are of achieving your goals. Action also bridges the gap between dreams and reality. Many people dream of a better life, a successful career, or financial freedom, but dreaming alone is not enough. Dreams require execution. If you take the knowledge you have gained and translate it into concrete steps, whether that's starting a project, reaching out to someone for guidance, or making a small improvement in your daily routine, you move closer to turning those dreams into reality. Every step, no matter how small, compounds over time into significant results. Another key aspect is consistency in action. It's not enough to act sporadically or only when you feel motivated. Real transformation comes from taking deliberate action consistently over time. Knowledge must be paired with repeated effort, and the combination of understanding and application is what builds skills, confidence, and success. Even the best ideas, if left dormant, will produce nothing. But repeated, focused action converts knowledge into a powerful force that shapes your life. Action also builds confidence and momentum. The moment you apply what you know, you begin to see results, no matter how small. Those results reinforce your belief in yourself and your ability to achieve more. Action is contagious. Once you start, it encourages more action. Fear and hesitation begin to diminish, and your mind shifts from "I wish" to "I will." Knowledge without action may leave you frustrated, but action transforms frustration into accomplishment and hope into reality. Ultimately, the path to personal growth, financial success, and fulfillment is not paved with information alone. It is paved with the choices you make to act on that information. Every book you read, every lesson you learn, every idea you encounter is a seed. Action is what waters that seed, allowing it to grow into results, skills, and life-changing opportunities. Knowledge is valuable only when it moves from theory to practice. The person who understands this principle moves confidently toward their goals, turning insight into achievement, dreams into tangible outcomes, and potential into reality. Remember, learning without doing is wasted potential. Knowledge must ignite action, and action must become habit. The consistent application of what you know is what separates those who succeed from those who merely know. It is the bridge between aspiration and accomplishment, between thinking and becoming, between potential and actual success. If you truly desire to change your life, you must stop collecting knowledge as an ornament and start using it as a tool. Your results are waiting, but only action will deliver them. Growth is the fundamental principle that separates those who live extraordinary lives from those who drift through life unnoticed. It is the deliberate pursuit of improvement, the conscious choice to become better today than you were yesterday. Growth does not happen by accident. It is not the result of luck, comfort, or passivity. It comes from a commitment to stretch beyond your current limitations, to learn continuously, and to embrace challenges as opportunities to evolve. When you focus on growth, every experience, every decision, and every moment becomes a stepping stone toward a more fulfilling life. To focus on growth means to prioritize your personal development above temporary comfort. Many people spend their days maintaining routines that are easy, predictable, and safe, but such routines rarely lead to progress. Growth requires stepping into discomfort, confronting fears, and challenging yourself to rise above mediocrity. It means seeking out new knowledge, exploring unfamiliar ideas, and surrounding yourself with people who inspire and push you to excel. The path to growth is often demanding, but the rewards are immeasurable. Those who choose growth are not satisfied with being average. They aim for excellence and understand that it is achieved through deliberate effort over time. Growth begins with the mind. Your thoughts shape your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. If you focus on expanding your mind through reading, reflection, and learning from mentors, you cultivate a mindset that sees opportunities where others see obstacles. Growth-minded individuals embrace challenges as lessons rather than setbacks. They are not afraid of failure because they recognize that every mistake provides insight, experience, and the chance to improve. The more you invest in your mind, the more capable you become of navigating the complexities of life and achieving your goals. Action is the engine of growth. Knowledge and intention alone are not enough. Growth requires applying what you learn, experimenting, taking risks, and persisting even when results are not immediate. Every small step you take compounds over time, leading to significant progress. The person who consistently seeks to improve their skills, habits, and mindset experiences a life of continuous advancement. Success is rarely sudden. It is the result of steady, focused growth that accumulates over months and years. Focusing on growth also means embracing feedback and criticism. Those committed to personal development are open to learning from others, even when it is uncomfortable. Constructive feedback highlights areas for improvement, provides perspective, and accelerates progress. Growth requires humility, the understanding that you do not know everything, and that there is always room to expand your knowledge, refine your skills, and enhance your character. When you embrace feedback rather than resist it, you turn every challenge into a lesson and every criticism into a tool for improvement. Another essential aspect of growth is setting goals. Goals provide direction, clarity, and purpose. They transform abstract ambitions into actionable plans. Without goals, growth becomes unfocused, sporadic, and slow. By setting clear objectives, measuring progress, and adjusting strategies, you create a framework for continuous improvement. Goals serve as milestones on the path of growth, guiding your actions, sustaining motivation, and reminding you of the person you are becoming. Growth is not limited to one area of life. It encompasses mind, body, and spirit. Focusing on growth means nurturing your physical health, developing emotional intelligence, expanding your knowledge, and strengthening your character. Every aspect of your life is interconnected, and growth in one area often fuels growth in another. A balanced approach to personal development ensures that progress is holistic, sustainable, and deeply satisfying. Ultimately, focusing on growth is a lifelong commitment. It is a decision to invest in yourself daily, to seek challenges rather than avoid them, and to transform obstacles into opportunities. Growth is the engine of achievement, the foundation of resilience, and the pathway to fulfillment. Those who dedicate themselves to continuous improvement become stronger, wiser, and more capable of creating the life they desire. Life rewards those who focus on growth, for they are the ones who expand their potential, achieve their goals, and leave a lasting impact on the world around them. One of the biggest traps people fall into is waiting for the perfect time to start, to act, or to pursue their dreams. They convince themselves that conditions must be ideal, that all obstacles must be cleared, and that circumstances must align perfectly before they take the first step. The truth is, perfect timing rarely exists. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of challenges. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you will wait forever. Action must be taken now, in the moment you have, with the resources and abilities at your disposal. Waiting for perfect timing is often an excuse rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty. People tell themselves that one more preparation, one more lesson, one more right moment will make success guaranteed. But in reality, There are no guarantees. The only way to create results is to start where you are, with what you have, and to adjust as you go. Momentum is built by taking action, not by waiting for ideal conditions that may never come. Every successful person understands that timing is important, but they also understand that action determines timing. Opportunities are rarely served on a silver platter. They are created through initiative, courage, and persistence. When you start, even imperfectly, you open doors that remain closed to those who wait. Waiting for the perfect time often leads to regret, while taking action leads to experience, learning, and progress. The first step may be small, uncertain, or uncomfortable, but it is infinitely more valuable than inaction. The reality is that conditions are never perfect. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and limitations. Resources will be limited, people may doubt you, and circumstances may seem unfavorable. But life does not pause until everything is perfect. Growth, opportunity, and success demand that you move forward despite imperfection. When you take action in the face of uncertainty, you develop resilience, resourcefulness, and confidence. Waiting for perfect conditions robs you of the chance to develop these critical qualities. Action also creates clarity. When you start, you learn what works, what doesn't, and what adjustments are needed. Waiting leads to stagnation and confusion because the mind becomes trapped in hypothetical scenarios rather than real experience. Every step you take provides feedback, teaches lessons, and builds momentum. By acting now, you move from thinking to doing, from wishing to achieving. You begin to shape your reality rather than letting it shape you. Another aspect of waiting is that it often leads to procrastination disguised as preparation. People spend months or years getting ready for the right time. While the world moves on, the right time is not a distant point on the horizon, it is now. The person who starts today, even with limited resources, will be ahead of the person who waits indefinitely for perfection. Life rewards those who take initiative and punishes those who hesitate indefinitely. Taking action without perfect timing does not mean acting recklessly. It means starting with what you know, doing what you can, and learning as you progress. It means embracing imperfection, being willing to make mistakes, and adjusting your approach based on experience. Every misstep is an opportunity to improve. Every challenge is a lesson, and every step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals. Progress is always better than perfection, and imperfect action is always better than inaction. Ultimately, the key to success is understanding that waiting is not a strategy. Life is lived in moments, and the perfect moment is created, not waited for. The sooner you act, the sooner you learn, grow, and move toward your dreams. Waiting for perfect timing is the enemy of progress, and action, no matter how imperfect, is the catalyst for transformation. Take the step today, embrace the uncertainty, and trust that momentum and experience will guide you forward. Every action you take now is a seed that will grow into the results, opportunities, and achievements you seek. The quality of your life is determined not by circumstances, luck, or chance, but by the philosophy you embrace, the habits you develop, and the actions you take. Philosophy is the lens through which you view the world. It shapes your beliefs, your decisions, and ultimately, your destiny. Habits are the patterns of behavior that either support or hinder your goals. Action is the force that turns thought into reality. When these three elements align, transformation becomes inevitable. Understanding this principle is the foundation for creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and success. Your philosophy forms the core of who you are. It is the set of beliefs, values, and principles that guide your choices and responses. People with a positive, growth-oriented philosophy see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and setbacks as temporary. Those with a negative or limiting philosophy see obstacles as insurmountable, mistakes as disasters, and circumstances as permanent. Philosophy determines your mindset, which in turn determines your behavior. By consciously choosing a philosophy of growth, responsibility, and optimism, you create a framework for making wise decisions, taking meaningful action, and achieving long-term success. Habits are the practical expression of your philosophy. They are the actions repeated consistently until they become automatic. If your philosophy values health, your habits will include exercise, proper nutrition, and rest. If your philosophy values learning, your habits will include reading, reflection, and skill development. The power of habits lies in their compounding effect. Small, positive habits, repeated consistently over time, produce remarkable results. Conversely, negative habits erode your potential and limit your opportunities. By cultivating disciplined, constructive habits, you transform philosophy from abstract belief into tangible reality. Action is the bridge between thought and result. Without action, philosophy and habits remain theoretical. Even the best philosophy and the most disciplined habits will not produce change unless applied. Action turns ideas into accomplishments, intentions into results, and potential into reality. Every meaningful achievement in life begins with a decision to act. Whether it is starting a business, improving relationships, pursuing education, or developing skills, the journey begins with a single deliberate step. Momentum builds through consistent, focused action, and progress is the natural outcome of sustained effort. Transformation occurs when these three elements, philosophy, habits, and action, work together in harmony. Philosophy shapes your vision, habits create the structure for daily progress, and action drives results. Without a guiding philosophy, habits may lack purpose, and action may be misdirected. Without habits, philosophy and action are inconsistent, leaving results uncertain. Without action, philosophy and habits remain theoretical, offering no tangible benefit. When all three are aligned, however, life changes at a fundamental level. You move from reaction to intentional living, from mediocrity to excellence, and from potential to achievement. One of the most powerful aspects of this principle is its cumulative effect. Each decision influenced by your philosophy, each habit developed intentionally, and each action taken consistently compounds over time. Small improvements repeated daily lead to significant transformation. A person who adopts a philosophy of growth, develops habits of learning and discipline, and consistently applies what they learn will inevitably rise above their circumstances. Conversely, neglecting these areas ensures stagnation and mediocrity. Life does not reward intentions alone, it rewards consistent, focused, and deliberate effort rooted in sound philosophy. Another key element is personal responsibility. Transformation does not come from blaming others, waiting for luck, or hoping circumstances will change. It comes from owning your philosophy, consciously shaping your habits, and taking purposeful action. Those who understand this principle recognize that they are the architects of their own destiny. They do not wait for external conditions to improve. They improve themselves, and through that improvement, they influence the world around them. Ultimately, life transforms when philosophy, habits, and action are intentionally cultivated. Philosophy provides clarity and direction, habits provide consistency and structure, and action provides momentum and results. Each element reinforces the others, creating a powerful cycle of growth and improvement. By focusing on these three pillars, you gain control over your destiny, develop resilience, and unlock your potential. Transformation is not an event, it is the natural outcome of living according to sound principles, building constructive habits, and taking consistent action toward your goals.